All right, so today we're going to dive into something that I think a lot of you have been hearing about, Gemini Canvas, Google's new interactive workspace.
Yeah.
Um, we're going to figure out what it is and how it can help you work better, whether you're, writing content like a blog post or trying to code.
Yeah, it's pretty much like having Gemini AI right there with you as you're creating. And it can help you move from that initial like spark of an idea to a finished project, whether it's, like you said, a blog post or some code you want to test out. Real-time interaction with Gemini is really at the core of what this is.
So for the listener out there, how do you actually get your hands on Gemini Canvas and start using it?
Well, you can find it both on the Gemini web app, that's at gemini.google.com, and on the mobile app.
Oh, cool.
And all you got to do is look for the Canvas option. It's right there below where you normally type your prompts.
Got it.
You will need to be logged into your personal Google account, though. And you'll want to have the Gemini 2.0 Flash model selected. That's the version that's really built for this kind of fast-paced interactive work.
Yeah.
And honestly, starting a new project is super simple. You just type in a prompt, basically tell it what you want to create.
All right, so say I've typed in my prompt. What am I looking at? What does the workspace look like? What tools are available?
So imagine a clean digital space
Okay,
where you can see and edit your text or code in real time.
I like it already.
Your prompt box stays put at the bottom.
Okay.
And for text, you'll find quick and easy tools for adjusting the tone. So, maybe you need something more professional sounding
Right.
or maybe a bit more casual.
Right.
You can change the length and do basic formatting. But what I think is really cool, especially for coding, like if you're working with HTML or React,
Yeah.
you get to see a live preview of your code as you write it.
Oh, wow.
Plus, there's a show console, so you can do some like basic debugging.
Oh, very cool. So a live code preview. That would really speed things up. I mean,
Yeah.
just get rid of that guesswork when you're coding. So what about writing?
Yeah.
How can Gemini Canvas help if you're, working on a blog post or an article or something?
So for writing, I found that it's really great for helping me get those initial drafts down
Okay.
for things like blog posts, reports, even speeches.
Mhm.
And then you can ask Gemini to look at what it's generated and give you suggestions.
Okay.
Maybe you need a different tone.
Right.
Maybe you want to make it longer or shorter, adjust the formatting. You can do all that through prompts.
Wow.
And then when you're happy with your text, a single click. And it goes right into Google Docs.
No, that's handy.
Makes it so easy to share and keep working on it with others.
So now for our listeners who are a little more techie,
Yeah.
what about coding? What kind of capabilities does Gemini Canvas have?
So right now, it supports generating code in HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and Python.
Okay.
And honestly, I think potentially any other language that Gemini itself understands.
Oh,
That real-time preview is really a game changer here. You can actually tell Gemini, hey, I want to change this part of the code and see those changes happen right in front of you.
that's pretty awesome.
This kind of back and forth with Gemini as your coding partner, it's great for trying out different web app ideas quickly,
Right.
whipping up Python scripts, or even just prototyping simple games or something.
Oh, that's cool.
And just like with the writing, one-click export for your code.
Okay.
Plus, there's a direct link to Google Colab for those big Python projects.
So you build something cool, you're ready to share it.
Yeah.
How does Gemini Canvas handle collaboration?
So you can share your projects through unique links, kind of like you do with Google Docs or something. And there are options for sharing on social media, too.
Is it?
And because it's really designed to work with Gemini AI, that back and forth collaboration is built right in.
Right.
But for real teamwork, that one-click export to Google Docs for writing
Yeah.
and to Google Colab for Python code, that really opens things up.
You were talking earlier about, different uses for this.
Yeah.
What are some more kind of unexpected ways that someone might find this useful?
Yeah. So beyond, writing and web development,
Yeah.
people are using it to make simple portfolio sites, building interactive quizzes, even basic games like tic-tac-toe and running little simulations.
Oh, cool.
And for learning, I think it's got a lot of potential. It can help you make study guides, create quick quizzes, and even visualize how algorithms work.
Oh, wow.
And then on the creative side, you can use it to generate ideas for 3D art or play around with some basic music ideas.
So how does Gemini Canvas stack up against some of these other AI-powered workspaces that people might know?
Well, the idea of an AI helping you write and code, that's not really brand new.
Right.
But what makes Gemini Canvas stand out, I think, is the level of detail and the feedback it gives you on your writing.
Right.
How easy it is to edit based on the suggestions. and that really tight integration with Google Docs. I think the key advantages are that real-time AI partnership, the smooth connection to all things Google,
Okay.
and I think a big focus on helping developers quickly prototype, with those live previews and the debugging tools.
So any limitations or anything to keep in mind?
Yeah, for sure. So right now, it's best for working on single file projects.
Okay.
Some of the text styling features and the code preview, those are mostly in the web version.
Got it.
And it only works with the stable Gemini models, like 2.0 Flash, so not the Pro version just yet.
Okay.
And if you're using a free account, you might run into some usage limits.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And like with any AI, it can sometimes misunderstand what you're asking or even give you like inaccurate information. So
Yeah.
always double check, always use your own judgment.
Right.
I think features like being able to work on multiple files in a project, those are probably coming later down the line.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what are some quick tips that someone can use to get the most out of Gemini Canvas right away?
Well, for writing, be really specific in your prompts. Don't be afraid to play around with those quick editing tools. Look at the suggestions Gemini gives you and really make use of that Google Docs export.
Okay.
For coding, clearly describe what you want your code to do.
Yeah.
Keep an eye on that real-time preview.
Yeah.
Use the show console to do some quick checks.
Right.
And use the Google Colab export for your Python projects.
Right.
And just in general, I'd say experiment with different ways of asking. Break down big tasks into smaller steps. Always double check what the AI produces.
Right.
And use those sharing features to get feedback from others.
Makes sense.
I think the clearer your instructions are, the better the results are going to be. And you always got to apply your own knowledge and skills in the end.
So to wrap up this deep dive on Gemini Canvas, what's the big takeaway?
I think it's a really big step towards a more back and forth way of working with AI, both in creative fields and in tech. It's still being developed, but the fact that it could connect with other Gemini features in the future, it really makes me think that AI is going to become even more of a partner in helping us bring our ideas to life.
So for our listeners out there, think about this. With this kind of immediate AI help at your fingertips, what could you do? What new projects could you tackle? What new things could you learn? It's definitely something to consider. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive,
Thanks for having me.
and we'll see you next time.